did all we can. He said, but somehow we are out. Why? As at the time they were supposed to make a paradigm shift, they did not. And today, Nokia is out of the telephone business. It also happened to IBM in the early 90s when they went off and people like Apple, Microsoft started rising. So it's important for us to know how to work on change. Today we'll be dealing with the essence of leadership, and we will be looking first at what is leadership and the essence of leadership. And I'll tell you where I drew my inspiration from. This was the February meeting. We were looking at change, the inevitable constant of life. I would say that change is an inevitable constant of life, and that you have a choice, you have a chance, you have a change. That you must make your choice to make a chance, or your life will never change. So you have a tricycle of choice, change, and chance. And we also said in March, we're also talking about what are the critical success factors of change. That means if you truly want to change, what do you need to do? Because critical success factor tells about what you must do. What are the things that are essential that you must do for that change? I would say the first is leadership. And we brought in two professors, Professor Gary Hamel of Oxford Business School, London Business School, and Professor Linda Hill of Harvard. And both said that even now, we need to start on learning what we have learned about management. That in the last 10 years, they're beginning to see that leadership has evolved and has changed. Some of the things they said is that leadership now is creating a world where people want to belong. That leaders set the stage much more than to perform on the stage. You don't have to perform on the stage as a leader. And give examples of companies who are doing this, who are doing reverse engineering, who are doing reverse compensation, who are even doing, in fact, it is even subordinate that used to evaluate even bosses now. They're doing so many things, and those companies are making a lot of money. When you see people in the likes of Google, in the likes of Amazon, in the likes of Facebook, there are things that they're doing. Example also in the life of Pixar, one of these companies doing children animation for Disney. They're doing a lot. Why? Because they are adopting to the new model of leadership. And they said something here. Gary Hamel said, we need a new set of management principles. He said, until we start thinking differently about principles, he said, there is no practice that will solve the problem. Did you see? There's a difference between principle and practice. And this kept me thinking. And I saw that there's a difference. Practice is what you want to do. Principle, it is what you are. For example, when you talk about the characteristics of a gas, it tells you that gas occupies space. Anywhere there's space, you see gas there. Is that correct? Once you see liquid, liquid is confined. Solid is also confined. So we have to start going to the nitty-gritty of leadership. What makes leadership? It is not about what you do. What must you be as a leader before what you do? Because if you are not that, what you do cannot make it work. And so that kept me thinking, and this brought me back to 2012 when I went for ILO conference, and I got an idea. And my idea came up from this principle. This is called, in project management, this is called the triple constraint of project management, where you have your time, your cost, and quality. And this is simply saying that these are the three critical elements that affect any project in life. And these three must be given consistent concern at the same time. You must ensure that your time, cost, quality, and sometimes they even call it scope, is all in together at once. So they call it like what? The triple constraint. They have what? A triangle for it. I also picked up this triangle from the fire triangle. If you look at fire triangle, for any fire to erupt, there must what? Be oxygen, there must be fuel, and there must be what? There must be combustion, there must be air. So this triangles was what led me also to begin to think about, okay, can we think of something on leadership? And I began to see that if you look at the iceberg theory says that 13% of what you see are events above the sea, and 87% it is not seen. That was why the iceberg could sink the Titanic ship. Why? What the captain saw was only 13%. What was under the sea was what? 87%. So also in life, and in strategy, you don't just look at events. You look at what are the things that are forming the events. They are the patterns and the trends. You go beyond the patterns and the trends to find out what are the underlying structures or what are the new mental models. Because if we change the new mental model and have new structures, we'll begin to have new pattern, and new pattern will give us new event. This is how to make a change. Not fire brigade approach. Oh, they are fighting here. Okay, let everybody divide. That's not the way to do it. For example, if there's fire here, not just, okay, you call a firefighter and they just quench the fire. You need to ask yourself the question, have the people been enlightened about fire? Which area is mostly populated? Why is there consistent fire in this area? Could it be markets? Are they educated? Are they not educated? Do you have all the safety gadgets? Like of the water hydrants there, you have extinguishers, and those are talking about what? Mental model and structures. So coming to just quench the fire is not enough. Haven't you noticed every year at least 3 or 5 markets they burn in Nigeria? Haven't you noticed? Why? It's the same trend. They are fighting what? Events. Not going to the nitty-gritty to look at patterns, structures, and the mental models. Because it's until you change this, the event will not change. So just trying to use extinguisher and changing the event alone will not solve the problem. It will occur again. So this was what led me to say, okay, what is the nitty-gritty behind leadership? And I came up with these 3 points, which I got in 2012, saying that service and leadership cannot exist, efficient leadership, without selflessness, sacrifice, and service. So I call it the 3S of leadership. And I drew this inspiration from the example of Jesus when he was asked, what are the greatest commandments? Jesus said, thou must love God with all of your heart. He said, thou must love your neighbor. He said, upon these 2 laws, hang what? All the law. So all the 10 commandments, all the laws that we see from Deuteronomy to Leviticus, to all of that, all that we see is hanging on what? Love for God and love for what? Your neighbor. So also, you cannot be an effective leader if you are not selfless. What is selfless? Selfless means you are going out of yourself and giving consideration to other people's need above yours. Do you see why the message of today tallies with what it is? Because it is also impossible to use mental assent to change selflessness. And no school in this world or business school can teach you how to be selfless. It's a spiritual thing. And that has to do with an encounter with your Creator. So you've got to learn how to be selfless. Then you have to move from selflessness to sacrifice. What is sacrifice? It's actually going beyond yourself. When you are going beyond your own limits. And every great leader in this world have exhibited this element of sacrifice. Jesus did. Martin Luther did, even to his life. If not, Obama would never smell president of the US. Mahatma Gandhi did. Mother Teresa did. Nelson Mandela, 27 years incarceration. In fact, Masmoro said when he shook his hand was like cement. He said he was shocked. He said then Mandela noticed. They said, you're surprised about my hand? He said that was the price for freedom. And they told him, we will never allow the whites to be in South Africa. He said, over my dead body, they will be here. When you're a leader, when you are selfless, it's easy for you to forgive and let go. And it's easy to give sacrifice. That's why I said, no, the white will still be here. I said, I'm not even interested in president. They just wanted to make him ceremonial president as the first black to be president. That's why they gave him 4 years. True or false? His focus was not. His focus was freedom and liberty. So true leaders don't seek position. It is conferred on them by their achievement. It is conferred on them by their achievement. So these are the key things which we see: selflessness, sacrifice, and service. And when I was trying to look for videos to be able to buttress this point, it was so difficult for me to get anyone, but I got one from my mentor, Dr. David Oyedepo, that talked about what leadership is and what selflessness and sacrifice is. And Max Morrow said, for you to be an effective leader, you must ask yourself some questions. Who am I? You must know your identity. 2, where am I from? You must know your source. And please, never confuse your source with what has been imposed upon you. I'm a Nigerian, I'm African, I'm from South America. That's not really your source. Because what you say is your source becomes your limitation. That's not really your source. We're on assignment on the earth. You must know, where am I here? Why am I here? What's your purpose? What can I do? What's your potential? And where am I going? Where's your destiny? This will keep you for life running passionately to be able to meet and achieve and get to where you are going. So we see here that selflessness is going beyond yourself, while sacrifice is even going beyond yourself for a cause with all passion and with all zest. Right now we'll also be listening to the video by Dr. David Oyedepo, and so we'll just do that. Thank you. Please, I'd like you to just take some notes down so that once we listen to that video, then we'll have a discussion about it. We'll take notes with respect to what we have gained from there, and we'll have a discussion, then we'll round up. Thank you. Okay, let's do the first one there. The first one, what leadership is. Thank you.
Jesus said, come to the word of God and you find rest for your soul. You have gone everywhere, but come to me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Man can only be his best in the center of God's plan. No man can outgrow his need for divine plan.
Welcome to the National Empowerment Summit 2009, holding at the EXO Exhibition Centre, London, with Dr. David Oyedepo, the presiding Bishop of Winners Chapel Worldwide. Be blessed as you watch.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Once again, I welcome you to this session, the leadership session. Matthew chapter 4 says, Jesus speaking to his disciples, he said, follow me and I will make you. Follow me and I will make you. This morning, it is my privilege to introduce the servant of God, who not only is a follower, because many years ago, he taught us, he said, if we have seen any brighter, it is because we stood on the shoulders of men. Not only is he an ardent follower himself, but he's also a leader indeed, who has raised men over the years. London, please rise to your feet with me this morning and welcome to this glorious pulpit, Bishop David Oyedepo.
Give Jesus a big hand. Amen. Please be seated. I'd like us to be extremely sensitive this morning as we go through these lectures on leadership. You know, people in church are so used to preaching and they get so lost with shouting and clapping and yelling that some of the times the substance of what is being taught is lost. But I'd like you to be very sensitive this morning, because I'll be taking us through a journey. You may never find it in any book. It's speaking directly to your destiny in order for you to maximize God's glorious plan and purpose for your life. In all generations, there are more workers than there are leaders. Why? It's only credentials that guarantee you a job. But sacrifice is what makes a leader. Schooling will get you a job, but is committed to continuous learning that makes a leader. Certificate makes a worker, but investment of time, energy, and resources makes a leader. Certificate makes a worker, it is investment that makes a leader. That is why there are always more workers than there are leaders in every generation. No certificate guarantees leadership. No credential guarantees leadership. And now, what then is leadership? It is taking the lead in your field. Taking the lead in your field. Therefore, as erroneously asserted in many quarters, leadership is not about leading people. It's about taking the lead in your field that make men refer to you. Taking the lead in your field that makes men refer to you. Therefore, leadership is not occupying a position. It is making outstanding contributions. Leadership is not occupying a position. It is making outstanding contributions. I mean, there are many companies, and all the companies have presidents. But you know the president, past president. Microsoft has a president. Dell Corporation has a president. IBM has a president. And every other company, any other way in the world, has president. But you know, president, past president, amen. So it's not occupying a position, it is making outstanding contributions. Leadership is not occupying a seat, it is accomplishing a feat. Leadership is not occupying a seat, it is accomplishing a feat. F-E-A-T. That is accomplishing an outstanding task. So we can go ahead and assert that leadership is taking the lead, not talking the lead. Taking the lead, not talking the lead. Like you will hear from Gideon saying, "Look on me, and as I do likewise." Judges 7:17. Taking the lead. Look on me. Judges chapter 7 verse 17. And as I do likewise. So leadership is not about propounding principles. It's about showing the examples. Amen. It's not about teaching principles. It's about living by or setting examples. Setting examples. Setting examples. Setting examples. It's not talking the lead. It's taking the lead. Leadership is taking the lead. It is blazing the trail. Blazing the trail. As they said, you are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth, and a city set on an hill that cannot be hid. You said this setting the base and blazing the trail. 10 men shall join themselves to the skirt of it as a Jew and say, "We will go with you." that commanding followership by outstanding performance. Now it's so important for us to know, just like most people, when they think of leadership, what occurs to them is political leadership. No. There is leadership in every field. So you have a leading musician, a leading lawyer, a leading engineer, a leading accountant, a leading academic, a leading minister. How many agree with that? So leadership is not limited to political leadership. It is just an aspect of leadership. You have professional leadership, business leadership. Taking the lead in your field is what makes a leader. And when you take the lead in your field, people in that field refer to you, and others you influence refer to you at the same time. So you can't be voted into leadership. This is so crucial and very vital, and these are gross misconceptions about leadership over the years. They think it's ruling over people. That's traditional leadership. People refer to you because of your outstanding accomplishment in that field. A leading lawyer gets natural reference. He will not be voted by any lawyer as their leader, but by virtue of his leading role in legal practice, they refer to him. And in their arguments, they make reference upon reference on the cases he has handled to plead their case. And the number of cases he has won defines his rating. I love what Oprah Winfrey said. He said, excellence is the greatest deterrent to racism and sexism. Nobody cares whether you're a woman or a man, just get the result. Don't you see some women stars in Olympic Games? Say with me, excellence. Excellence is not a decoration, it's an accomplishment. Excellence means to excel. It means to excel in your field. To excel, that's excellence. To excel. You excel in your field, that's excellence. You excel in your field. Pastor Albert, come up here. Praise God. It means to excel. And to excel is to accomplish. So it's not somebody voting for you or somebody not voting for you. When you excel in your field, you emerge a leader in that field. You emerge a leader in that field. And I want us to please know that that is the crux of the matter. And I'll be showing you very shortly. Now there are some other erroneous assertions on leadership. For instance, it is also commonly said that leadership occurs on 3 platforms. They say some are born leaders. Nothing can be far from the truth than that. Others have leadership trusted on them, and that some achieve greatness. You see, some are born great, they said. Others have greatness trusted on them, and then some others achieve greatness. Apart from that last one, all others are erroneous. Have you ever met a born doctor and then opens a clinic and they say, I'm a born doctor? Have you ever flown in the aircraft of a born pilot? Have you ever met a born lawyer who just bought the gowns and the wig and they say, what's your qualifications? I'm a born lawyer. Because there are no born lawyers, there cannot be a born leading lawyer. Because you are not born, so there is no way you can become leading. You can't become anything because you are not born. There are no born lawyers, so there cannot be born leading lawyers. Does that make some sense? Have you ever seen a born heavyweight boxing champion? World heavyweight boxing champion? Because he's born? No. Now, the son of a world heavyweight boxing champion is not a boxer. Neither can he inherit the belt. If he goes to the ring, because his father was a heavyweight boxer, they will finish him. The first punch, he will go down and all his spiritual parts will be scattered. There are no born leaders. It's a fallacy. Because leadership is not an endowment, it's an accomplishment.
Next one.
Jesus said, come to the word of God and you find rest for your soul. You have gone everywhere, but come to me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Man can only be his best in the center of God's plan. No man can outgrow his need for divine plan.
Welcome to the National Empowerment Summit 2009, holding at the EXO Exhibition Centre, London, with Dr. David Ayoko, the presiding Bishop of Winners Chapel Worldwide. Be blessed as you watch.
I consider it an amazing privilege, pride, and pleasure to bring up to share the word of God again, a man that has tremendously, phenomenally, and unusually impacted my life as a person. Instructions, corrections in righteousness. I have found every moment I have spent with him life transforming, destiny releasing, encouraging, motivating, instructing. I am therefore, with great joy, I would like you to stand on your feet and give a prophet, a teacher, an author, and a father a great God bless you hand clap as he comes up to share the word, Bishop David Oyedepo.
Hallelujah. Please, shall we be seated? In this second segment, I'll be addressing the subject, the ultimate price or the ultimate cost of leadership. And I'll use just 3 scriptural platforms for this discussion. Luke 14, 28 to 30. Which of you intending to build a tower will not first sit down and count the cost if he has enough, or else he will start building and he will not be able to complete, and then when the passing by will be laughing into scorn. This man began to build and could not finish it. So every tower carries a towerly cost. There are houses and there are houses. But every one of us has a towerly destiny in redemption. A city set on a hill that cannot be hid. So you have a towerly destiny, but not actualizable without a towerly cost. Then I saw a woman came to lobby Jesus one day. They call her Mary, the mother of James and John, and said, Master, the Bible said they came worshiping Jesus, Just this worship today looks different. What is the matter? He said, Master, I pray thee that you make one of my sons to stand on your right and the other one on your left in thy kingdom. Jesus said, you don't know what you are asking. They don't pray into leadership. They pay into it. Can ye drink? Then we talk to the two boys who came with their mother to lobby Jesus. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink and be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized? They don't know the meaning. They say, yeah, Lord. Jesus said, okay, indeed you will drink that cup and you will receive that baptism. But whosoever drink the greatest cup and have the deepest baptism will be the one to whom my Father will give. So it's a race, it's not a prayer. It's a race, it's not just a prayer. Well, that shows there is a cup to drink and there's a baptism to receive in determining your leadership rating. A cup to drink and a baptism to receive. Now, what is this baptism? Let's go. Luke 12, 49 and 50. I have come to set fire on the earth, Jesus said, and what will I, if it be already kindled? He said, but I have a baptism to be baptized with. And how am I straightened until it be accomplished? How am I straightened until it be accomplished? Leadership will always stretch its beneficiaries. That stretch is what I've come to define in this second segment, no matter how brief that will be. That stretch is called sacrifice. What is it? Sacrifice. You'll never find a star in the field of sports without a well-defined track of sacrifice. Never. There is no star without a scar. And the scar of every star is sacrifice. 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 I have a lovely story here of a young man by name King Wood Chunk, the founder of Daewoo Corporation. And his story is so fascinating that within 30 years, from a capital of $10,000, he built one of the largest corporations. By 1997, Daewoo Corporation was rated higher than Coca-Cola, than IBM, with turnover of over $81 billion in the year. It began only with $10,000, and in 30 years erupted into a major conglomerate with over 3,500 products on their manufacturing line, including aircraft spare parts. His story is a story of sacrifice. He never took a vacation for 30 years. What was that?
trying to be successful without pouring yourself into something is like trying to pluck a star from the sky. That's his statement. Now, I said about 7 years before I started my own business, I worked for a company run by a distant relative. Although I was part of the family, I was still a regular wage earner. Yet I did my work as though I were the owner of the company. Someone hearing that? I did not wait for others, and I always took the initiative myself to seek out work to do. I was never late to work. I never took a day off because of the inexpressible joy I derive from accomplishment. I still work as hard today. If a businessman handles his or her work spontaneously and takes a hobby-like joy in it, then the business will gradually grow and its facilities will expand. The same thing happens with a student who takes a hobby-like joy in study. The student's marks and standing will improve, and he or she will wind up a prize winner. If you do not believe me, just give it a try. Just give it a try. I think it is sad for human beings who are interrelated with everything else in this world to consider work simply as a means to keep their stomachs full. It is even sadder to think that people in the prime of life who should be filled with great dreams, vitality and ambition should feel that work is a nuisance. It's a great insult to work ethic to think of work, sweat and effort only in terms of monetary results, when we should be thinking of it in terms of accomplishment, fulfillment, personal development and contribution to society. 30 years brought the best out of his endeavor. He's a believer. His biography is covered in a book, All Streets Paved with Gold. All great leaders in both biblical and contemporary history were raised from the altars of sacrifice. Ordinary investment will yield ordinary dividends. Only extraordinary investment will yield extraordinary dividends. Over 2/3 of the human race still acknowledge the leadership of Jesus Christ today by reason of his sacrifice and the impact and effect of that sacrifice. It's a combination, therefore, of the cup of wisdom and the baptism of sacrifice that makes a great leader. The cup of wisdom and the baptism of sacrifice, that is the mystery behind the making of great leaders. The cup of wisdom and the baptism of sacrifice. The cup of wisdom and the baptism of sacrifice. That is the mystery behind the making of great leaders. That is the mystery behind the making of great leaders. Check through biblical history and you see some of these great leaders as they emerge. Think of Abraham, the father of faith. How did he become the father of faith? By passing the test of the sacrifice of his only son, Isaac. Hello.
until you pass the test of sacrifice, you'll never emerge a great leader. Think of Moses. He fled from the face of Pharaoh in Exodus chapter 2 and was asked to go back to Egypt. That was a suicidal mission. That was a suicidal mission. Somebody who fled for asylum was now walking back into the mouth of a lion or sacrifice. A man, the greatest leader of that era, had the deepest revelation ever. No one was there when God created man. God confided in Moses the details of creation. It's indisputable. He was born on the altar of sacrifice.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Take it back to the presentation. So I like us to just talk about what have we learned, what do you think is vital, and what do you think, what did you learn that is different from what you heard before? There are mics at the back. I'm sure we have mics at the back too. And please let's be open so that we can be free to talk and discuss. Anyone giving us option to? What did you learn? What did you learn? Something different? Okay. Someone is raising his hand.
Praise the Lord. From the video, sacrifice is something everybody talks about. But for the very first time, I hear of the mixture of wisdom and sacrifice together. Wisdom shows you the way to go. Sacrifice is the price you have to pay. That means leadership is what you sincerely desire. Like he said, no leader is born. You just go there. You do achieve, you do things great, you excel in your field, you achieve greatness in your life.
Thank you. Any other contribution from the back, from the front? Or you want me to call people out? See, it's discussion because we all learn different things. He's saying so many things. What you're picking is different from what I'm picking. And so as we discuss, we're able to put all together. And it helps us to begin to change the face of not just the nation, but of the human race. Thank you, sir.
Praise the Lord. I appreciate the opportunity of being here today. From the teaching, it was very clear from the message that in the world we are now, some people will continue to work just to feed their stomach, but they will never make impact. It was clear.
Yeah.
But from the message, it was also clearly defined that while people work, some people will lead. And for you to be a leader, you have to be someone that loves God. It's very important. And for you to love God, you have the grace to make sacrifice. I got that from in a better form. And for you to express yourself as a leader, you need the Spirit of God. Because you have to follow it. And as the Lord gives you His Spirit to guide you, He will give you wisdom. Because without wisdom and without the Spirit of God, you cannot lead. And if you can't lead, it simply means you can't be impactful. What is being impactful? The message clearly stated that pace setter. You do what someone else has never done before in your field. Some people presently from the message, it shows that there are a lot of people with certificates. Some people have been even complaining that they are Yorubas or they are from a region that they are deprived, or they are not fine,
Quota system,
or they are short. It's clearly stated that there that from the message that all this is irrelevant. You need to love God, love your neighbor, be ready to sacrifice. And references were given concerning Moses, concerning Abraham. In a nutshell, you need to take ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you've just rounded. Okay. Thank you. Please go.
Before the have to take this
Yeah.
before the film show, what just show us in the position that leadership sets the stage much more than perform on the stage. Before that, I thought that for it to be leadership must perform.
Okay.
An appeal too. I want to appeal that this slide should be sent to the mails. So I'll go down, go through it once again.
Yes, we do that after once we upload on Facebook, on YouTube. We also send the presentation and the highlight of each of the videos, the core things that we've learned. We'll send it to people who are listening.
Thank you. And my question is this: Bishop just said that no one is born a leader.
Yeah.
During the slide, he said identifying your purpose. Can you clear it? Identifying your purpose and
let me explain what he's saying. Bishop is saying that no one is born a leader, and that also coincides with a leadership truth, because I'm a management person. The foundation of leadership has threefold. You have the trait approach to leaders, saying that leaders are born and they are not made. That we have seen that is fallacy. That's what you see like in the Middle East and the rest. You have a lineage, they are always leading, always leading, always leading. But that is not exactly correct. Why? Because from the Kurt-Lewin principle that says that behavior is a function of person and the environment, it tells you that behavior can both be learned and unlearned. If behavior can be learned and unlearned, so skills can be learned and unlearned, so leadership can be learned and unlearned. That's why Bishop is saying that it's a fallacy to say leaders are born. Leaders can now be made, because when you know the necessary skills to build yourself, you will wake up and become that leader. Were you born to become a doctor? No. You grow to it. This stage I am, ask my wife, it has taken 14 tedious years to get to this level. At least we have 4 masters. To get to the level of knowledge I have. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's price. So you are not born it. You grow into it and you develop and pay the price for it. You see, the challenge with most of people is that we're focusing so much on today, not knowing that there's really not a today. Why? Because your today was the tomorrow you waited for yesterday. A today is already spent. You need to start planning for your future. Why? Professor Vijay Govindarajan of MIT said that your tomorrow comes in daily doses. If you don't plan for your future tomorrow, you will just get to the future and you are out. You plan for your future today. You plan for it today. Out of the money you are earning, what kind of course do you think will be relevant for you in the future? That's what you need to start thinking of. Not, okay, I finished from accountancy, that's what I want to do. No. What do you think is relevant in the future? How do I place myself? If you're in computer science, I do not think anyone in computer science should be joking around. I feel people in computer science should start looking at internet security. That should be your catch. Why? Because we're moving to digital age, where everything will be in the cloud. But people are not thinking. That's what you start planning. Not dancing around. ShopRite, go Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, my Insta. It's more than that. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say is action pay in the plans. I'm happy that we have more of the youths around us, because like I was telling somebody I was I went for administration on Monday to talk to some youths. I was telling them that the youths of today are not ready to pay any price. Everything is shortcuts. Shortcuts. And before we came, me and my husband were looking at a lot of people around us, and we just found out that, okay, I went to see somebody, was it on Tuesday or Monday? This is a woman that she has made so much money, but now she is more or less suffering. Why? The children. When the other was making money, as at 10, 15 years back, the children are going to Abisoye more than $1 million. They've been living in boys' quarters. I went to the house, all the chairs are gone. They bought a land in Lekki over 15 years ago that they can't complete. Misplaced priorities. This is the future he's talking about. If you don't pay the price now, this is somebody that has seen life but she's not seeing it again. It's not good enough. And that's where Papa was talking about wisdom and sacrifice. In as much as you want to make some, there must be that wisdom to make the right sacrifice. Because building a future of your children and not building a future of your old age.
It's a bad one too.
It's a bad one.
Yeah.
The children have gone, they are schooling abroad.
Yeah.
Two of them have depression problem. Why? Because one was withdrawn from Canada to Cyprus. The other one, they were out of school for 6 months. They couldn't pay. Now the whole family is in a mess. The man had a stroke 2 years ago. Why? Lack of wisdom to plan. Thank
you. It's so important. You see, the passion God has put in me. I told you last year I went for a course and it changed everything about me. It changed even my relationship at home, even with my kids. Now they say, Daddy, we want to have time with you. You know why? I just suddenly moved from being a father to a mother. And I started coaching them. Today, my wife saw me, I was photocopying something. One of the results of my gear came out. And I was already analyzing. By this morning, we have analyzed together and about areas to keep, areas to improve on, what to watch out for. And we drew it from the trends of what has happened in a year 1 to year 6. Up to GS1. That's how to plan. And this is the things that we need to take going forward. What are we doing? When you don't bring out creativity and innovation in your children or in the life of all the youths, they will become workers. And in every generation, there are more workers than leaders. In every football match, there are more fans than players. Two of us. It's your decision whether you want to be a fan or you want to be a player. It is what you do today, the investment you do today, that will determine. Where I am now, some of my contemporaries that will finish school 20 years ago, they are just coming up. But I thank God I saw it then. And I was not distracted. The greatest enemy of youth is distraction. Distraction. Up and down. Asonto. When we they cry, we still they see road.
Yes, sir.
We still they see.
Yes, sir.
When we they cry. Never be deceived by what you see left or right. It may never be there again. Plan your life. Plan your future. I told my wife, I said, as these children are growing, we suddenly just discover that they go, let's not start planning our own life. So you don't depend on them.
Yes.
And become important. Please, I beg you. Some of them, we will send all of these materials to you. You may not find them around and so common. Please listen to them. Go over and over it. And because we are believers, pray about this so that God will lead you and teach you aright. I pray that you will not fail. Amen. I pray that you will not fall. Amen. See, there's no point. Others have fallen before. I wasn't born like this. I was born without a spoon. So even to determine my spoon was difficult, and even to determine the quality of the spoon, that was double wahala. That was too much. Last webinar, because I was coming for service. I'm upgrading myself, because the day you don't upgrade, you'll be downgraded. It's important to build your life. Stop carrying certificate about. Many are certificated illiterates. It's not about certificate. Certificate just simply tells you that your brain is functional to adapt to anything. That's what it shows. If you truly want to read, then get to PhD in that area. There will know you're a leading authority in that area. Please, let's build. Let's build ourselves. I'd like to call Pastor Suki for him to round up for us, to pray for us. And you will pray yourself that God will give you grace for wisdom and sacrifice.